6 NCAA titles.
But here is your 5,000 meter champion.
It is going to be Parker Valby.
A new lifetime best, and she breaks her collegiate record.
To meet records. He just gets 200ths of a second. It could correct.
The 2023 Outdoor 5,000 meters, 2023 Cross Country Nationals, the 2024 3K, 5K double indoors, and the 2024 5K, 10K double outdoors. And she just won the Bowerman Award. And after putting up some of the greatest campaigns in NCAA history, Valby was not done yet. She'd go on to the trials where she put up a strong performance and eventually go to the Olympics in the 10K, where she ultimately finished her season with a very respectable performance at the Paris Olympic Games. It's been a stretch over the course of a year for Valby that's taken her to the greatest levels of this sport. And the momentum from these exceptional performances should only carry over into her pro career. However, I think it's important to really realize that behind the success of it all, there was a time where Valby, like almost all athletes and honestly people in life, have to deal with something called adversity. And how she dealt with that is really inspirational. Before we talk more about that, though, I'll say first off, it's hard for me not to go on and on about Valby's unorthodox training regimen.
Parker, known for not being necessarily a high mileage athlete, but knowing fitness is fitness. I'll get on the arc trainer. I'll do what I have to do.
It's just a training background that's more off the beaten path than many athletes. One that includes a lot of cross training as opposed to real running over real ground. Valby has produced some of the best results we've ever seen in the NCAA through a training regimen that very few runners in the world follow, with a whole lot of time being spent on a special elliptical called the arc trainer. Now, if you never use these things in real life, they aren't quite like a normal elliptical, at least in my experience, and they do really get your heart rate up there. One of the big reasons Valby does this is to prevent injury and reduce the overall risk of injury while still maintaining a higher aerobic training volume. Impact can lead to injuries that can really hinder an athlete's ability to sustain training and fitness. And as a sort of risk mitigation strategy, Valby did a lot of her training on an elliptical and only ran a few sessions a week over real ground, such as her workouts, running very low mileage, but producing very great results. And speaking of those great results, Valby has produced some of the most amazing campaigns we've ever seen in collegiate running.
2 races, 2 wins, 2 record-breaking performances.
Parker Valby, double champion, winning the 10 2 nights ago.
But before talking more about that, I think there's also something that's very important to consider, and that's how Valby has had to go through adversity to get to those points.
Coach Mike Holloway said a lot of people would have given up to have gone through what Parker has gone through. It's been a challenge. This woman is a testament to resilience.
After a very successful 2022 cross-country season, where she would finish runner-up at nationals and set some incredibly fast times, Valby would go into indoor track season and run a 3,000-meter race at the Fast PU track, and she put up one of the fastest collegiate times ever over the distance. But Valby would not end up competing at indoor nationals, as she would pick up an injury that would derail any sort of indoor championship racing and even the beginning of the 2023 outdoor track season. Valby would eventually come back for outdoors at the 5,000 meters SEC championship.
Not only Parker Valby in the mix, along with Marcy Tellingat, but also her teammate Hilda Omomoy, 9:24 at 3K. So they're on 15:40 pace.
And remarkably, she'd be able to hold on for the win, despite the setbacks she had earlier in the year. A truly inspiring effort. And for Parker Valby, she would often end up competing against another premier runner in the NCAA, Caitlin Toohey, and Valby would place runner-up to Toohey on a few occasions. with Tui posting an exceptional indoor campaign in 2023, including a 3K, 5K double at NCAA Indoor Track Nationals while Valby was sidelined with injury. Things may have looked to be really going right for Tui, while Valby had to deal with more difficulties. Although Valby posted a win at the SEC's 5K, she would place second behind Tui at the East Regional race to determine the national qualifiers. And Tui had run the 1,500-meter qualifiers beforehand. It really did seem like Tui would be set to win a 1,500 and 5,000 double at Nationals that year with her performance at the East Regional. But at the 2023 NCAA Outdoor Championships in Austin, Texas, I don't think things really played out the way that people expected. Valby only running the 5K would actually not face Katelyn Tuohy in this race. With Tuohy not in the lineup, Valby would be able to win this 5,000-meter race in convincing fashion, getting her first place finish. Finally.
Now she is in pursuit of finally capturing that title.
And it's something that I think really got things rolling for her to become the next great NCAA runner. Just getting this first national championship win here. I mean, Valby was always a great runner. She placed runner-up a bunch of times to one of the best collegiate runners ever in Katelyn Tuohy. But with the injuries she faced indoors and having to come back for the end of outdoors to try and win a title, and then to actually do it, it's just awesome to witness.
She's been battling a lower leg injury since the wintertime. Valby has that sleeve on her lower leg, fighting back through all that she has over the last 6 months.
And from there, the reign of Parker Valby only continued into the 2023 NCAA cross-country season. The year before in 2022, Valby had a great cross-country campaign, but this year in 2023, once nationals rolled around, as the favorite, she again ran away from the entire field in her signature front-running style to win that cross-country crown after a runner-up finished the year before and going through all the adversity between those 2 points. Next up would be indoor track, where she'd break 15 in the 5K for the season opener and then take it down a few more seconds at nationals, winning the 3K, 5K double. And she would only continue with a final couple of big exclamation points at NCAA Outdoor Track Nationals. Valby would end up running 31:46 in the 10K and 14:52 in the 5K to win both the 10K and 5K at the Outdoor Championships. Yet Valby continued her season from there, going up against the top American pros at the U.S. trials, including an absolutely amazing race in the 10,000 meters, where she would finish second with a strong kick for the finish, just ahead of experienced pro Karissa Schweitzer in an exceptional qualifying performance.
But Parker Valby just nips her at the line. All 3 of these women, what an amazing performance from all of them.
Valby would then go to the Olympics in the 10,000 meters and place very respectably there. The final stop in what has been an amazing ascent through the NCAA, all the way to competing against the best distance runners in the world at the Olympics. However, while it's oftentimes easy to remember the great achievements or moments in an athletic's career, I think it's also important to know how they got there, and oftentimes it's not a straight road to the top. There's a whole lot of adversity many athletes have to deal with. Valby was eventually able to turn the adversity she faced into positive momentum that has taken her athletics career to awesome places, and I think it's been inspiring to witness. If you made it this far, I'd really encourage you to hit that subscribe button. And if you're already subbed, thanks so much for your support. See ya in the next one.